हाँ जी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन अ ब्रांड न्यू एपिसोड ऑफ 420 ग्राम्स। अपना भाई आ रहा है मणिपुर से। गलती मेरी भी थी, आई थिंक थोड़ा वाईफाई इश्यूज थे हमारे वहाँ पे, बट वो सॉर्ट आउट हो गए। आई फॉरगॉट टू सेंड इन द लिंक। देयर इज अ सर्टेन लिंक दैट यू हैव टू सेंड, जो आप वी डू दिस ऑन स्ट्रीम यार्ड। तो जिसको भी आप इनवाइट करते हो उनको लिंक भेजना होता है। मैं लिंक भेजना भूल गया भाई को, क्योंकि मैं गधा हूँ। पर बात मेरी नहीं है ना, आज तो बात इंडियन टीम की है। इट्स द इंडियन टीम दैट्स टेकिंग ऑन म्यांमार in the first of that hero tri nation, which is happening in Manipur, which for me is the biggest story. That Manipur is getting to see international games after the I League has been played out over there, and you see some big games in club football being played there. It's time now for the national team to play, and none bigger than Sunil Chhetri. क्योंकि खबर तो यही है, बड़ी-बड़ी, मोटी-मोटी खबर आपको ये बता दूँ। खबर यही है कि जो आईएसएल के फाइनल में खेले हैं, चाहे वो बेंगलुरु के खिलाड़ी हों, चाहे वो मोहन बगान के खिलाड़ी हों, आई थिंक कुल मिला के 8 खिलाड़ी थे, जो नेशनल टीम का हिस्सा हैं, एंड राइटली सो। दे विल नॉट बी प्लेइंग in this game. And yeah, you'd have to say, I don't know. I have a question mark on that, because it's not like you're coming after a 40 game season. It's not like you're coming after a 50 game season. Let's be real. We are still a league that's playing 20 games in a season. Um, so if we're still playing 20 games in a season, and your national team, I think that I read the stat somewhere, is playing after about close to 250 or 280 days, I'm not sure. तो फिर भाई क्या है? खिलाओ ना पूरी की पूरी टीम। मुझे पता है कि उन्होंने वहाँ पे फाइनल खेले हैं कुछ ही दिन पहले, सेलिब्रेशंस हुए होंगे, फेलिसिटेशन हुआ होगा, ये सब ठीक है, पर खिलाओ ना लड़कों को। जब भी आपकी टीम 284 डेज़, विकी वॉन्डर, थैंक यू फॉर दिस। Siddhanth is joining us soon. But if they're playing after 284 days and you're only playing 2 matches, and you're not playing like about 4 games or 5 games or 6 games, 2 matches spread over 6 days, 22nd and 28th, I think you could have taken the risk of playing a full strength team. But the coach at the end of the day has to take a job. It's his decision. He is the one whose job is on the line. And his decision is this, that he's going to be playing um, the boys that did not play in the final. So that means in a sense एक second string team आपको दिखेगी। लेकिन बड़ी खबर ये है कि आपकी जो सुनील छेत्री साहब हैं, क्योंकि उनका क्या है, पूरे 90-90 मिनट तो खेल नहीं रहे थे। बड़े टाइम बाद उनकी ऐसी एक ज़िंदगी सामने आई है कि बेंच से आके काम कर रहे थे। बेंच से आए थे फाइनल में भी, हालाँकि वो पहले 2 मिनट में आ गए थे। But आई एम गेसिंग दैट्स व्हाई ही इज़ टेकन छेत्री ऑन फुल 90, और छेत्री हिमसेल्फ हैज़ प्रोबब्ली गॉन टू हिम to join him and told him that please play me in both these games, because it's been a while since I've started a game. Um, तो सही है, तो फिर छेत्री साहब होंगे, ये आप पढ़ लीजिए यहाँ पे, चीमा साहब ने यहाँ पे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में क्या बोला है। वी गॉट अ फ्यू चैलेंजेस सो फार, मेनी ऑफ आवर प्लेयर्स आर एग्जॉस्टेड after playing the Hero ISL final, and they are in the recovery process. We need fresh legs. Our squad has 23 players, so you can definitely expect many from Manipur to start tomorrow. Okay, so that should be nice to see. And the fact that it's happening in Manipur, I think a number of Manipur players, चिंगलन सेना सिंह हो गए, सुरेश वांगजाम हो गए। ये सुरेश वांगजाम ने बोला है, I remember when it was announced that Imphal will host the Hero Tri Nation, everyone in my family was so excited. They could see me play for India in our hometown. That is something special. That is huge, undoubtedly. And they've always come to the stadium and to watch me play in Imphal in the Hero I League when he used to play for Indian Arrows. But this will be a much bigger stage. और ये देखिए, जब घर पे मुकाबले होते हैं तो ये तो साथ में चलता ही है. Of course, a lot of relatives are requested for tickets, which is quite normal for a football crazy state like Manipur. It's expected to be a full house, and understandably so, because when the national team is in a massive footballing center like Manipur, तो फिर फुल हाउस था तो बनता ही है। ये थोड़े विजुअल्स चला देता हूँ। नेशनल टीम कल अपना एक लौता ट्रेनिंग सेशन वहाँ देखने को मिला हमें। इससे पहले व्हाट द बॉयज वर डूइंग वर दे वर ट्रेनिंग इन कोलकाता एट द सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंसी। दिस फुटेज जो मैंने लिया है खेल नाउ टीवी से लिया है। खेल नाउ टीवी, सॉरी आई डोंट नो अबाउट अ कर्टसी, अभी भी सीख रहा हूँ, बट आई एम सेइंग इट, दिस इज खेल नाउ टीवीज दैट वी पिक्ड अप, and so thank you for that. ये यहाँ पे टीम ऑफ कोर्स लगी हुई है जोर शोर में. So I'm guessing the whole chat is about what is going to be your playing 11. If a number of your starting boys are not there, then what is going to be your playing 11? Now, if a report from Dhiman Sarkar, someone who's been following Indian football for a very long time, Hindustan Times, he is saying that they are likely to play 4-2-3-1. No surprises, because generally the Indian team is set up in a 4-2-3-1, the way Ego's team match does go about his business. You've seen him doing that long time. He may have inconsistency with regards to his playing 11 because he's always chopping and changing, ढूंढ रहा है कौन है ये खिलाड़ी, कौन है वो खिलाड़ी है. मेरे ख्याल से he is not 100% certain with the 11. पर उसका 4-2-3-1 is always certain. लगभग तय है 4-2-3-1 उसका दिखता है. और आज भी ऐसा कुछ देखने को वाले. 4-2-3-1 में छेत्री साहब ऊपर होंगे. छेत्री साहब ऊपर होंगे तो पीछे जो 3 होंगे खिलाड़ी वो कौन होंगे? उनमें से 2 तो हम तय कर सकते हैं कि एक होंगे चांगटे, बेस्ट प्लेयर ऑफ द आईएसएल, एक होगा बिपिन सिंह ऑन द अदर साइड. सो राइट एंड लेफ्ट कवर्ड. बीच में कौन होगा? थापा होगा, यासिर होगा, या कौन होगा? और वो 2 में कौन खेलेगा? 2 में रोहित कुमार ऑफ कोर्स फॉर मी इज अ स्टार्टर, बट रोहित कुमार हैविंग प्लेड द फाइनल व्हिच मींस ही इज नॉट अ स्टार्टर इन दिस गेम. तो कौन आएंगे वहां पे? आपके जैक्सन सिंह है and Brandon Fernandez. I think he'll go with the 2 of Jackson and Brandon Fernandez. And then in your defense, who will be your starters? Because he said a lot of players from Manipur. Chinglan Sena has been a starter for this team. So Chinglan Sena is the senior position. Sandesh खेला है वो पूरी की पूरी मैच फाइनल में. तो संदेश तो नहीं होगा. तो उसका पार्टनर कौन होगा? अनवर अली होगा या मेहताब सिंह होगा? Tough call. But if I was the coach, I would stick with Anwar. I know Mehtab has had a great season, but Anwar is human. You've been backing regularly. तो अब जब एक सीनियर मेंबर है नहीं तो अनवर का टाइम बनता है उसमें आने का. ये एक बारी कोच साहब की बातें चला देते हैं आप लोगों के लिए. ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस बोला, ये भी खेलना उसे लिया था. ये देखो जी, कर्टसी दिया हुआ है आपको. ये भी चला दो, सुन लो आप एक बारी.
Today and next 5-6 days we're going to be here to enjoy and celebrate the success of our players in ISL. Serious work, the most important one, starts in May in preparation for the SAF tournament which we're going to host, and the FIFA window in June. That will be the start of the process of selection for the players who will be on the list for the Asian Cup in India representing the country.
Bhaijan, good to have you. Can you hear me?
Yes sir, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes sir. ये आंख में चोली मत, गेम मत खेला करो यार. आ जाया करो. कितनी देर से वेट कर रहे हो? ये मैंने आपको डाला नहीं शो पे. मैं लगा हुआ था अपनी ज्ञान बांटने में.
नहीं, मैं सुन रहा था. Also a bit of a Wi-Fi issue. I hope my connection's okay. The guys that I'm on a tight budget, and the guys I'm staying with haven't recharged their Geo fiber.
Let me say, does his name start with R and S with an S, ends with an S?
No, it does not, bro, because Randy Singh has thrown me out of his house before I even entered it.
What are you saying, bro?
Yeah.
भाई अब तो शादीशुदा हो गया ना भाई. शादीशुदा हो गया भाई. अब एक्सपेक्ट मत करो. थर्ड व्हील नहीं.
Don't blame her, Pooja. Do not blame Pooja for this. ये स्पेस सारा इसका सारा लोड रैंडी सिंह पे है.
अच्छा, मैं आप जरा फिर से ये चला देता हूँ स्टीम मैच साहब का, because he said a very interesting thing and we can take
for the Asian Cup starts in May. Okay. Today and next 5-6 days we're going to be here to enjoy and celebrate the success of our players in ISL. Serious work, the most important one, starts in May in preparation for the SAF tournament which we're going to host, and the FIFA window in June. That will be the start of the process of selection for the players who will be on the list for the Asian Cup for India representing.
Bhai, so basically what he's saying, because I've seen this a lot in cricket, where you know when you're selecting for a big tournament, because cricket has also become like हर साल एक World Cup आ जाता है. या साल 12 महीने लगे हुए जी. Now we're only building up to that team. Though the one good thing that he's saying right now is only 6 months prior to the Asian Cup. Will I actually think of putting my squad together? That 23-25 together. And then take it from there. Because anytime before that, a lot changes, right? 6 महीने से पहले बहुत कुछ बदल सकता है यार. तो अगर आप तब से शुरू करोगे तो आप तो मलीदा बनाओगे आगे जाके फिर.
हाँ, except for I guess at either end of the pitch, Sunil Chhetri in front and Gurpreet Singh Sandhu in goal. Other than that, yes, I agree completely.
I mean,
of course, we know, yaar. I mean, it's not like we have 100 players to pick from, right? That is also the truth. मतलब maybe there are 30, 35, out of which you have to kind of reduce the squad down to 23, 26. I don't know what the rules are for the Asian Cup, whether pandemic rules still apply, and therefore they have a 26-man squad. I'm not sure about how that will work. But जो भी है, whether it's 23 लोग हैं या 26 लोग हैं, आई थिंक ब्रॉड जो स्ट्रक्चर है, जो कोर है टीम का, वो तो पता ही है हमें. No matter what C-Match might say today, it's not like you'll see a random bunch of 20 players going to the Asian Cup. I really doubt it. And having watched the ISL or little bits of the ISL, at least the final stages, it doesn't look like there are any real. I mean, of course, some young boys, Rohit, for example, Shiv Shakti, a couple of these guys also
can be question marks. Can be question marks.
I guess in a sense, Mahesh Nauram, Roshan, these are all in that sense new players.
No, Mahesh Nauram तो hasn't even featured भाई, तो उसको तो छोड़ ही दो आप अभी के लिए. उसका तो अभी वो टाइम ही नहीं मिला है उसको.
I think you know,
रोशन खेले तो हैं.
kind of player who, like, I would for sure keep in my squad, yeah, because especially with a team that needs that kind of creative impetus, na, where you need to do when you run out of ideas, when you run out of if nothing is happening on the pitch, you're playing against, let's say, a kind of equal team, you're doing all right, but you're failing to find that little bit of creative spark. Mahesh is the guy I would bring on, man, in that situation, because he does things. He has this vision, and he's able to put those through balls
in the club. Does things in club football. Does things in international level football.
जैसे हम बात कर रहे थे ना,
सामने खुलासा है, लिस्टन कोलासो है. लिस्टन कोलासो आपके सामने एक प्राइम एग्जांपल है.
हाँ, ठीक है. I mean, वो तो unless you try a player out at the international level, and like Srimach was saying, that because we have the SAF championships and we are hosting it, which is again, you know, India, the one big benefit that Indian football has today is that no matter what we might say about the resources available and all of that, compared to other countries in the region, where the government as well as the federation has both the willingness and the ability, resources, etc., to host things. And when you have that, then you're always at an advantage, because countries in the region then are kind of course, Korea, Japan, and all will not come here to play practice games, but there are many other countries, strong countries in Asia, who will be happy to travel down to India and play some warm-up games. So that gives you the possibility of trying people out at the international level, with which not many coaches have that kind of flexibility. And sorry, I just have to take this 1 second.
No worries, भाई. आप लो, मैं तब तक playing 11 चला देता हूँ. So I have put my playing 11 forward, and this is going by whatever the reports are coming in from you and from other people in Manipur. So I'll just put it out for you guys. Remove this, and so I have gone with the 4-2-3-1. Amrinder Singh is what they're saying is who he's starting out with, and understandably, क्योंकि गुरप्रीत को आप रेस्ट दोगे, गुरप्रीत को रेस्ट दोगे तो विशाल कैद तो है नहीं जो उसको चैलेंज कर सकता है वहां पे, तो साथ में अमरिंदर है, तो आप अमरिंदर के साथ शुरुआत करेंगे चाहे क्लब फुटबॉल में जो भी सीजन रहा हो उनके लिए. Then in your back four, Akash Mishra is the left full back because Hyderabad did not progress past the semi-final, so he's got that 2-3 day gap over the guys who played in the final. Then you have Anwar Ali of FC Goa. I would stick with Anwar Ali and not Mehtab Singh, purely because there's a order of ascendancy, and in that order of ascendancy, if you've been giving that boys chances, to check him out, he isn't the end product. He isn't your boy who's said कि आओ जी संदेश जिंगन को हटाओ और मैं आ गया हूँ. अभी भी नहीं है वहां पे, पर अगर आपने वो कहीं ना कहीं रास्ता शुरू किया है तो उसको आधे रास्ते मत छोड़िए कि जी एक और लड़का आ गया, अब चलो वहां से उसको शुरू करते हैं, तो फिर गाड़ी आपका दी एंड कभी आएगा ही नहीं उसको लेकर. तो अनवर को आप मौके दो जितने मौके देना है. साथ में चिंगलन सेना है, ही इज द सीनियर मोस्ट मेंबर ऑफ दैट स्क्वाड, एटलीस्ट डिफेंस लाइन की अगर आप बात करें, क्योंकि भेके साहब भी हैं. Bheke Saab, if you've been on our platform, we've had many reservations about him, but I thought he's had a good ISL season and he looked pretty solid for Mumbai. Now, the two up front in the 4-2-3-1, who will be imperative, is Jackson Singh, would be the one sitting in this right here in the middle. ब्रैंडन मेरे ख्याल से उनके आगे उसको मौका मिलेगा। तो जैक्सन ऐसे बैठेगा, ब्रैंडन यहाँ पे ऐसे भागेगा, तो ब्रैंडन का ये नहीं कि जी राइट फाइट पे मैंने अपना प्लॉट बना लिया और यहीं मैंने घर बनाना है। वो लेफ्ट पे भी आ सकता है, सेंटर पे भी आ सकता है और इस तरफ से आप खेलेगा यहाँ पे। पर जैक्सन इज गोइंग टू बी वन मोर स्टेशनरी थिंग। दैट्स प्योरली बिकॉज़ रोहित कुमार इज नॉट अवेलेबल। मेरा बस चले पर्सनली तो मेरे
Sorry
हिसाब
about
से
that.
रोहित कुमार होना चाहिए। कोई नहीं भाई, मेरे हिसाब से रोहित कुमार होना चाहिए वहाँ पे, बिकॉज़ रोहित कुमार जितना भी मैंने देखा है उस लड़के को, वो एक क्या कहते हैं, एक ही इज़ अ लॉट मोर मोबाइल। He seems to be
Yeah.
the kind of player who moves the game up a lot more. Jackson
Yeah,
seems a
yeah,
lot more static to me. जैक्सन बॉल
yeah.
आता है, रोकता है, फिर ढूँढता है, बॉल निकलने में टाइम लगाता है। रोहित कुमार उस नज़रिए से भड़क लंबे स्ट्राइड है उसके पास, लड़के के पास। सो आई थिंक ही कैन डू अ गुड जॉब डिफेंसिवली आल्सो, ही इज़ गुड।
बहुत
जैक्सन
अच्छा
मेरे
लगा
हिसाब से
देखने में।
अच्छा लगा ना भाई? पर आज
बहुत
तो
बढ़िया।
जैक्सन खेलेगा। साथ में उनके ब्रैंडन साहब होंगे, क्योंकि ब्रैंडन को आगे आप खिला नहीं सकते 3 में। ब्रैंडन को
Yeah.
टाइम चाहिए होता है बॉल पे पूरा, क्योंकि वो 1 साल लगा देता है वो टर्न करने में। उसके बाद उसको फिर अगर कोई उसके आस-पास नहीं है तो वो अच्छी तरह बॉल ढूँढता है। तो वहाँ से
This
उसको
is your
स्पेस
11,
मिलेगा।
huh?
दिस इज़ माय 11, दिस इज़ माय 11।
Nice. I like that we picked almost the same team, भाई।
नहीं, आपकी टीम पे ला रहा हूँ इसके बाद, क्योंकि बिपिन होगा
हाँ,
मेरा
it's
लेफ्ट साइड
almost
ऑफ
the
द
same. I
3,
mean, except the goalkeeper and
चांटे।
Rahul Bheke, I think we were pretty
No,
much
so
the same.
I put a Yasir slash Thapa just purely कि थापा वाले गुस्सा ना हो जाए मेरे साथ। But if I had to pick, I would choose यासिर भाई। मेरे हिसाब से यासिर होता
To
है। वो
start,
बीच का टू स्टार्ट, वो बीच के स्लॉट में खेला नहीं है। वो ज़्यादा हैदराबाद में भी देखो तो वो चांटे वाली पोजीशन पे खेलता है और फिर अंदर आता है विद
yeah,
हिज लेफ्ट फुट, तो उसको वो गैप मिलता है जो राइट
yeah,
पे खेल के लेफ्ट से अंदर
yeah.
लाता है। But I would start slotting this boy in the middle, bhai, because he has amazing technical skill and he has vision and he has this pass, this beautiful pass, and he's got some power in his foot. So
Yeah,
I would keep on
yeah.
playing him in that role, bhai. Keep on playing him in that role. But उसको लाओ अंदर, उसको थोड़ा अडेप्ट करो और आगे तो हमारे पवन पुत्र हनुमान है ही, तो वो
I guess
आज
also playing in Imphal, home sort of home crowd and all of that. I think yeah, that makes sense, man. Although I still would start Thapa.
तो आप बताओ इसमें से क्या बदलोगे, because I don't get time to make your this thing on graphics.
No, that's
तो
fine,
इसी में
bhai.
बता दो।
I mean, more or less, our I was starting Lachenpa instead of Amrinder in goal.
But he's saying Amrinder is going to start, but you want Lachempa to start.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of bringing him along if you're not going to try him? You've tried Amrinder out. You
Yeah, it's
essentially know
true.
what he does at the international level.
How is
I mean,
Lachempa different from Amrinder in your words or in whatever you've seen? Is there a difference?
uh, yeah, I think distribution wise, he's a bit better, man. And for me, that is a kind of that's the only thing that kind of separates him from any of the other goalkeepers. Gurpreet has done well, but sometimes he tends to, I don't know, lose it a little bit.
Huh.
So
That's a polite way of
I
saying
think
it.
he's got one assist too many, I think. तो वो डायरेक्ट असिस्ट टू सुनील छेत्री के चक्कर में कभी कभी थोड़ा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन आउट ऑफ द विंडो हो जाता है एंड ऑल्सो अंडर प्रेशर आई थिंक बिकॉज गुरप्रीत हैज बीन नाउ नंबर 1 फॉर बोथ हिज क्लब एंड country for so long. I think a little bit of pressure on that starting position would do him some good mentally. Just to think that there is right now, I think he's in a position where he believes, and rightly so. He's done the work. He's got all of the right credentials. I mean, he is probably the best goalkeeper we have in the country.
Probably
So
so. He is
fine.
the best.
I'm not
No
denying
doubt.
that. But there has to be a little bit of competition, and I think Lachenpa has done enough over the past couple of seasons to warrant, especially in a game like this. You're playing against a lower ranked opponent. You're playing at home. You're playing in Manipur. So इससे better opportunity नहीं मिल सकता है to try out a new guy. I really doubt. I mean, I think Myanmar will play a lot of technical sort of passing
बॉल रखते हैं
football.
भाई, बॉल रखते हैं, छोटी
Football,
फुटबॉल
they'll
खेलते
keep
हैं
the
वो।
ball, they'll do all that.
हाँ।
But I don't know how much they will be able to actually create chances and sort of put pressure on India's goal. So,
It's the
given
same
that
from an Indian
scenario, I think.
perspective, भाई।
Sorry?
Internationally, how much have we
Yeah.
seen from our players, except for Bhai Saab up front, number 11? How
Yeah.
much have we seen all the other guys really dominating play in terms of moving towards goal?
No, we
मतलब
haven't.
मैंने तो देखा नहीं है, चाहे कोई भी हो
Yeah.
सामने. बांग्लादेश के सामने पत्ते खुश हो जाते थे हमारे, मुझे याद है वो.
हाँ बिल्कुल 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 सही बात है. एंड आई थिंक वो अप्रोच तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए भाई, बिकॉज मतलब जो श्रीमात साहब भी कह रहे थे कि लाइक आज के मैच ऑफ कोर्स there will be 20-25,000 people at the Kuman Lampak today. It'll be a packed stadium, all of that, and there is pressure because of that to win the game, no doubt, and to play some kind of attractive football. But we really have to remember that the focus of all of this process is the 2023 Asian Cup, or 2024, however, whatever it's called. So I think the idea of more than the players who play, I think the system that plays, the system that works, the organization, the structure that works, that has to be worked out. Whether you take this 11, that 11, like we were saying earlier, भाई वो पूरा टीम तो बदलने नहीं वाला है ना. मतलब जैसे हम भी like इतने जानकार हम भी नहीं हैं I guess. लेकिन more or less हमारे जो 11 जो हम शुरू कर रहे हैं more or less same है. So, which means हमारे पास 100 प्लेयर नहीं है जिनमें से हम चूज कर रहे हैं, राइट?
वो तो पक्की बात है.
हाँ, तो जो स्ट्रक्चर है, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो सिस्टम है, वो अभी से इनके दिमाग में बैठाना पड़ेगा कि आप ठीक है वो बॉल रख के खेल रहे हैं, उनको खेलने दो, अपने हाफ में खेलने दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. वो 90 मिनट अपने हाफ में खेलने दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है
भाई. तो
आपको एक गोल निकालना है. और वो
खबर आई है, अपना एक भाई है, you know him very well, मैं नाम लेकिन लूंगा नहीं. He is part of the broadcast. He's in Manipur. He's staying in the same hotel as the Indian team. Where are they staying, by the way? Where are they staying?
They are staying. I can see it from my room.
नाम क्या है होटल का नाम क्या है?
Classic Grand.
अच्छा, क्लासिक में ही रह रहे हैं. So another classic plug. आपका होटल कैसा हो? क्लासिक ग्रैंड जैसा हो. But he's there in the same hotel. तो उसका मैसेज आया because he's watching the show, अपना भाई. So he's saying जैक्सन के साथ थापा को पीछे खिला रहा है वो in the 2. जैक्सन और थापा
वो भी ठीक है.
तो फिर आगे आपका 3 कौन होगा फिर? बिपिन और चांगटे इज डन. ब्रैंडन कहाँ खेलेगा वहां पे यार? ब्रैंडन का सबसे बड़ा मुझे यही प्रॉब्लम है कि ब्रैंडन को अगर आपको रोकना है, उस पर थोड़ा सा प्रेशर डाल दो, वो बंदा नहीं खेल पाता, मैंने देखा है.
Otherwise, if the info is coming from false 9, maybe he'll play a false 9.
नहीं, false 9 तो नहीं, कोई और ही है अपना भाई. बट कौन खेलेगा वहां पे? आप खिलाओगे ब्रैंडन को वहां पे? और कोई है आपके पास ऑप्शन? मैं आपको टीम बता देता हूँ फिर से.
नहीं, यासिर is fine. Otherwise, Yassir is a good option, I guess.
Yassir is a good option, भाई. Yeah. Who else is there? There is.
I mean, I think I skipped Bipin.
Bipin would be left.
I don't know why, because now that I think on it, Bipin 100% is a starter.
Of course, left side, but not in the center.
Yeah, not in the center. Yeah.
है ना? और राइट पे चांगटे साहब है.
Or you can even switch the two, Changte and Bipin.
तो यार कर लो, चलो ठीक है.
However, you have that flexibility to even play a flattish 5 if you want in the middle. If they want to complete.
लड़के लोग कह रहे हैं ऋत्विक दास.
हाँ, ऋत्विक. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
आकाश, मेहताब, सना and राहुल, भाई. That's your back line.
आकाश, मेहताब, सना and
राहुल. तो मतलब जो चीज मैं कह रहा था कि आप यार, मेरा मानना ये था कोच साहब, अगर आपने अनवर अली को डाला है पटरी पे कि लेट्स गेट अनवर अली, ही नीड्स टू प्ले हिम. यू नीड टू प्ले हिम. ये नहीं कि आप सडनली मेहताब आ गया, आप उसको हटाओ, मेहताब को डालो.
But भाई, I think the sort of thing is that he knows what Anwar is capable of, and I think Anwar, come the Asian Cup or come any kind of serious tournament where you have to win games, Anwar will start. I think that is beyond.
भाई खिलाओगे नहीं तो कब मतलब ये डेवलप कैसे होगा?
This is a constant debate.
वो तो मतलब मैं 100 जगल्स करता हूँ जी अपने आप. उसको पता है कि ये बंदा 100 जगलिंग मारता है, पर कंपटीशन में इसको बाद में रखेंगे. कोई नहीं, 100 मार देता है प्रैक्टिस में, बाद में रखो. ये क्या मतलब है भाई?
नहीं,
समझ में नहीं आया. एक और आ जाएगा भाई, हमारा भेज रहा है, तो मैं आपको पूरी की पूरी टीम से एक बार ही चला दूंगा. देखो जी हमारे खबरी हर जगह हैं और हमारा भाई भी वहाँ पढ़ा है। But जब तक वो आ रहा है, so Yasir, I think you and I are in agreement. Yasir in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, if he's choosing, like, if Brandon is in the squad again, and I think Brandon is another player that needs.
But Brandon hasn't played for a while, ना? उसको पता नहीं
That's why
मतलब
I'm saying
season
he
इतना
needs
अच्छा नहीं
game
गया।
time, bro. He needs minutes. He needs to get his confidence back. He needs to get his mojo going. All of those things. Plus, he gives you something. If you're not going to play Anwar at the back, then he's your dead ball guy as well. So, I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you have Sunil also, but Sunil can only take dead balls in a certain situation, and that's why I would say like to hell with what happened in the ISL, man. You play so many of these guys are like kids, bro. So like, and they're only playing 20, 22 games in the season. It's not like they're coming off a season where they played 60 games and they are so fatigued that unke bas ki nahi hai. So I would play Roshan. I would play Suresh. I would not start Bheke. No offense to anyone, including Rahul. I think he's had a good ISL and all of that, but this is international football and it's a slightly different scene.
Where do you stand on Thapa? Do you think he's regressed? In my words, he's regressed from the
He's definitely
Thapa.
not. He's definitely not progressed. I wouldn't
So
go
if you've
so
not
far as to
progressed,
say
you've
that
regressed.
not
No?
necessarily. You can stay at the same level. And unfortunately, and so for me, like we were talking last time, भाई, for me सबसे important जो चीज है इस टूर्नामेंट में पता चल जाएगा कि जो हमारी लीग है जिसके बारे में हम इतना बात करते हैं, इतना फोकस करते हैं, इतने लाखों लोग इस लीग को देखते हैं, एक्चुअली ये उस लीग का टेस्ट है कि कितना ये लीग आपको प्रिपेयर करता है टू प्ले इंटरनेशनल फुटबॉल, नॉट अगेंस्ट कोरिया, नॉट अगेंस्ट जापान, नॉट
You
अगेंस्ट
got a
द टॉप
point.
टीम्स इन एशिया, but against teams whose domestic leagues are approximately at the same level as ours, right? तो मतलब मुझे नहीं लगता है कि हमें ऐसा सोचना चाहिए कि ये प्लेयर्स इंपॉर्टेंट है तो इनको बचाने की जरूरत है, ये प्लेयर्स इंपॉर्टेंट है तो इनको खिलाने की जरूरत है भाई।
Exactly भाई, अपना भी तो
हम
वही
इस
सिस्टम।
लेवल
मैं
पे
तो कह
हैं।
रहा हूँ रेस्ट क्यों दे रहे हो उन लड़कों को?
हाँ,
कौन
कोई
सा वो
जरूरत नहीं है।
40-50 सीजन खेल के आए हैं वो?
और
20 मैच खेल के आए हैं
मुझे
मुश्किल
नहीं
से।
लगता है कि प्लेयर्स भी रेस्ट मांग रहे हैं। मे बी एक इक्का दुक्का प्लेयर हो जो शायद थोड़ा कोई कैरिंग निगल हो या थोड़ा बहुत फटीग्ड हो, बट बाय एंड लार्ज स्पेशली इन दिस काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन भाई, बिकॉज यहाँ पे आज मैते न्यू ईयर है, छुट्टी का दिन है मणिपुर में। बाय द वे हैप्पी न्यू ईयर टू ऑल द मैतेज इन मणिपुर एंड एनीवन एल्स हु इज सेलिब्रेटिंग। बट छुट्टी का दिन है, मौसम बहुत बढ़िया है, मतलब इट्स द काइंड ऑफ like I don't think there's a single player in this 23-man squad who will not want to play.
है ना
I
भाई?
don't think so. Absolutely. They will all be in the coach's ear saying मुझे खिलाओ, मुझे खिलाओ, मुझे खिलाओ, मुझे खिलाओ, including
खिलाओ ना
Sunil.
यार।
हाँ, और तो मतलब ये इसका कोई वो नहीं है। अगर हमें कहीं से कोई ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है कि हम अपना बी टीम आउट ऑफ दिस लॉट, अपना बी टीम खिला के म्यांमार के साथ रिजल्ट ले सकते हैं, तो पता नहीं दैट वो आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन इन एनीवन्स माइंड, अनफॉर्चुनेटली बिकॉज ऑफ logistical issues, and otherwise I have not really been able to meet anyone yesterday, plus day before the match you don't want to also bother people, right?
भाई this is the just sorry I'm interrupting you. This is the playing 11 now. हम ये कह रहे हैं ये हमारी likely 11 है, हमें खबर आई है उड़ती हैं। आप 188 देख रहे हैं, 188 में से एक ने हमें खबर भेजी है उड़ती
बढ़िया।
तो ये है जी हमारी 11। मैं एक बार फिर से पढ़ देता हूँ। अमृदर इन गोल, आकाश लेफ्ट फुल, रोशन सब बोले जा रहे हैं। दोस्त रोशन फाइनल खेला है तो कोच साहब का मानना है कि वो नहीं खिलाएगा उसको, तो हम वो लेके चल रहे हैं। अब वो उस कैवियट को रखिए वहाँ।
Again, you know that's a kid is a kid that our expert Reddy Singh knows extremely well, and it's one of his players, one of Ishfaq's players. So he would be like what's it called, chomping at the bit, bro, to play at home, start for India today. You know, the idea of putting him on the bench because he needs a bit of a rest, I find that a bit much.
Come on,
yeah.
नहीं तो मैं एक बार 11 पढ़ देता हूँ। 11
okay,
पढ़ लेता हूँ।
we are not maybe I am certainly not never have been at that level. But like, if the opportunity is there, there's no reason I wouldn't want to play. Like, who wants to sit on the bench, right? Irrespective of how many games you play, and the more games you played, I mean, Roshan is the kind of guy who I would say, coming off a good season, decent season, not a great season, but a season where you made enough of a mark to make it to the national team, right? Uh, you can take corners, you can take free kicks, you can kind of use both your feet to cross the ball. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who's better at delivering the ball than him in this entire team.
I think we all know that.
Including Brandon Fernandes. Huh?
Bhai, for me, Thapa and Brandon for me is a big question mark, and I think it's a big worry that you have two guys who are such a vital cog of your team, right?
Yeah.
Two guys who are vital cog of your team, who for me,
Not
for
doing
some
much.
reason, chalo, I won't say regressed, have stayed at the same place. Have stayed at the same place, which begs the question: do they make your playing 11 when you talk about your strongest 11, right? And I think if they are not part of your strongest 11, because that is what progression is meant to be. These boys are part of your squad. Progress. They are going to be the pillars of the squad. They are not the pillars of the squad. At least in my eyes right now. But let me just run out this playing 11. हमें खबर आई है मणिपुर से, तो चला रहे हैं आपके लिए यहाँ पे. Mehtab is in the middle. He is getting a chance to start. He's had a good season with Mumbai, no doubt about that. Which means Anwar is not there. Chinglan Sena is the senior member there. Rahul Bheke is there on the side. Jackson will be manning the midfield in front of the defense. तो उसका काम होगा कि आमने सामने जहाँ झाड़ू लगाना है वहाँ पे झाड़ू लगाएगा, वो बॉल रोकेगा, बंदे को हटाएगा. और फिर उनके साथ होंगे थापा साहब. थापा साहब का एक एडवांटेज ये है, for all that we may have said that Thapa has remained the same, but what Thapa gives you is he gives you late runs, right? He gives you late runs in the box. So he gives you goal scoring options in the box. And anyone who makes late runs and has that ability to make late runs, it is always tough from a defensive point of view to nab him. Now the point is, if you're making late runs, you got to have good delivery going on as well.
Exactly.
Good delivery के लिए चांगटे और बिपिन है वहां पे, और भेके साहब और मिश्रा साहब अगर आगे जाएंगे, जितना भी आगे जाएंगे, तो वो गुड डिलीवरी वहां से आएगा. बीच में हमारा भाई यासिर है, और भाई ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, भाई इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि भाई को देख के बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. एक तृप्ति मिलती है, एक शांति आती है अंदर देख के, ऐसा खिलाड़ी है, टेक्निकल खिलाड़ी है. और ऊपर हमारे भाई साहब है, सबके भाई साहब है. ही इज बैक इन द प्लेइंग 11. ही बी रेयरिंग टू गो. एनी भाई, खबर फ्रॉम मणिपुर, इज इट रेनिंग राइट नाउ, इज व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड. How is the pitch? Will that be an issue?
Little bit. Oh, pitch is beautiful.
एक समय फुल स्क्रीन डाल देना, फिर करना अब ये अब करो आप.
ये पिच तो भाई माशाल्लाह,
हमने कल देखा था आपका वीडियो. पहली चीज मेरी यही गई.
अरे Renedy Singh was there as well, and he was saying, "Yeah, our boys should be playing on this kind of surface, not the kind of crap they end up playing on." Unfortunately, you know, it's a great pitch and first game, so like not like it's not been used in a while. I mean, it's in pristine condition. The ground is just the right amount of soft. I mean, I like आज खेलने को मिलता है.
वो आज खेलने को मिलता है, तो 15 साल पहले मेहनत करते तो शायद आज मिलता है खेलने को.
15 थैंक्स यार, you're being kind.
25. But what's the scene? Rain not going to be an issue?
Little bit. It'll be an issue more for the crowd than for the players. But yeah, people are used to it, I think. So they'll bring their like ponchos and like plastic sheets and all of that. Unfortunately, the vast majority of stands at the Khuman Lampak are uncovered. So if it rains really hard, it'll kind of take away from, and I don't know how good the drainage is, so it'll mess things up if it rains really hard. But it's not been like that over the past 24 hours, and I don't see. I mean, the forecast is not saying like heavy rain, so the temperature is perfect. Because it's raining, humidity levels are not super high, so it's not that sweaty weather that will make you play like really slow, low tempo football. So I think if it remains like this by 6 p.m. Under the lights also, it will dry up the pitch a little bit. Once the lights are turned on, it gets dark. We are in the eastern part of India. Unfortunately, we don't have a separate time zone for this part of the country. We should. But by around 5 p.m., it starts to get quite dark. So I think they'll turn on the lights by about 4 o'clock to heat up the lights also to get things going. 3 p.m. gates open. By the way, this is the hottest ticket in town, my friend.
Really? So full house?
Absolutely full house. Yeah. They are, in fact, players. Manipur is amazing. There are like I don't know how many. Like you chuck a stone here, you find an ex-India international. Last evening we were we were at the stadium और हम stadium से बाहर निकले तो वहाँ पे हमें एक group मिला ex-players का जो 90s में the couple of guys who were in Tempo. Pretty much the first generation of Manipuri players to go and play pro football in India outside of the state and all of that. So and these are guys, some of whom have not represented India. So they've done a great thing by inviting everyone who has played India.
Oh, that's
for
nice.
Sure. Yeah, and as it should be, man. I mean, the least you can do is call all your former internationals, men and women, of course.
So it's going to be heavy.
But for the rest of them, there are so many guys who have played club level. 10 बार संतोष ट्रॉफी खेले हुए हैं भाई और लोगों को उनका नाम तक मालूम नहीं है because that's just how many players come out of this small state. So hopefully by the end of it, everyone will get tickets and be able to watch the game. It's definitely oversubscribed. So अगर जैसे I don't know what the official capacity of Khuman Lampag is, but उससे 5-10 हजार ज्यादा तो लोग आएंगे. I think जैसे back in the day जैसे अम्बेडकर स्टेडियम में भीड़ होती थी हाफ टाइम पे हजारों लोग बाहर खड़े होते थे गेट बंद करने पड़ते थे अंदर नहीं आने देते थे वही वाला हाल होगा. तो देखते हैं क्या सीन है. मजा आने वाला है इतना तो है अगर ज्यादा बारिश ना हो तो.
What is the chatter you're getting from the ex-players? Because these are people who understand the nitty-gritties of the sport, and what is their take on the coach and the team that's being prepared? Because if anyone has an opinion on comparing generations, of teams, is one of them has to be people from Manipur, and the people, because just the sheer volume of people who've gone on to become success stories in Indian football. What do they make of this team? What is
right, so I'm going to start with a slightly sort of negative point on this, which is that, and I think Igor's team match will agree if he's, of course, I doubt very much that he's watching the show today. He's got slightly more important things to do.
If you are Mr. Steam Match, do join us. We'll send
but
you
an
invitation right now.
There is a sense that the progression of India's sort of football players has not been at the pace and at the level that it should be, given the kind of resources that are now in the game, the kind of money players are earning. I think there are a lot of ex-players who think that there is way too much focus on these players kind of doing their own social media.
यार ये तो वही बोलता है ना जो करता नहीं है ये सब भाई. मतलब जब मैं नहीं करता तो मैं कहता हूँ ये क्या कर रहा है, कुछ और कर ले जिंदगी में. बट जिनके लिए ये सेकंड नेचर है वो तो ठीक है ना भाई.
ये बात सुनने को मिली कि like players are asking the media guys to send them clips from training for their Instagram and all that. So
that's okay na bhai.
And I think no it's okay, no doubt. Maybe it's okay, I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm not giving you my opinion. भाई तूने बोला chatter क्या है तो मैं chatter बता रहा हूँ. Here से है मैं अपना opinion नहीं बता रहा.
Sorry मैं भावुक हो जाता हूँ. Sorry I won't
ठीक है भाई कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. एंड आज आई गेस दुनिया भी बदल गई है ना. अब सीनियर प्लेयर्स जो अब रिटायर हो चुके हैं, जो 80s में 90s में खेल रहे थे, उस टाइम पे था नहीं है सब. तो कैसे उनको हाउ दे कैन नॉट रिलेट. इट्स लाइक कंपेयरिंग एप्पल्स एंड ऑरेंजेस. दे आर नॉट द सेम थिंग. सो अभी फॉर दीज प्लेयर्स एज इम्पोर्टेंट एज व्हाट दे डू ऑन द पिच इज व्हाट दे डू on social media, because that's also मतलब it's a matter of रोटी कपड़ा ना. उनका जो marketability है, जो उनका जो भी है, it also comes from social media, so they have to do it. I'm not saying that's not a thing, but and I think Coach Saab will kind of agree with me on this, that you can do all of that before and after, when you are kind of this is the time to make your mark and prove that you are good enough to be in the India team for the Asian Cup. And I think उसके आगे पीछे कोई focus नहीं होना चाहिए. And I think some of the the senior pros, the guys who have retired, who are watching from the sidelines, are a little bit kind of not, I would say not, maybe mildly irritated at how much शोशा there is for not that much substance. अगर आप इन टीमों को 5 गोल 6 गोल 10 गोल से हरा रहे हैं, मात दे रहे हैं, तो अलग कहानी है ना. अगर आप नेपाल बांग्लादेश के अगेंस्ट स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, तो इंस्टाग्राम पे आप जितना मर्जी कीपी अपी कर लो, जितने मर्जी क्या करते हैं, ये रेनबो करते हैं, अराउंड द वर्ल्ड
प्लेयर
करते
की
हैं,
बात कर रहे हो आप?
जो भी करते हैं, किसी भी प्लेयर की बात
कर
कर रहे हो, जो भी हो, कोई भी प्लेयर हो, वर्क हार्ड, प्ले हार्ड, ऑल ऑफ दिस, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we see on social media these days where the like you essentially, if you look at it just comparing, you can't tell the difference between, like, let's say a guy like Messi or someone who's playing like the top league somewhere in the world, and a guy who's playing the ISL. I mean, you're nowhere close to there, right? So in that sense, your conversation and how you are engaging with people outside should also be slightly different. Yes, you are at the top of your game in your country, in given the whatever conditions you have been given. ठीक है, मान रहा हूं मैं. आप नेशनल टीम के लिए खेलने हैं, मतलब आप इंडिया में बेस्ट 50 फुटबॉलर्स में से हैं, ठीक है, but there are still some things, you know, like we don't pretend to be the number one football show in the world, right? Because we're not. Yeah.
In the world.
So similarly, I think thoda bahut, I think there's a belief among senior pros that थोड़े थप्पड़ पड़ने चाहिए, थोड़ा बहुत रियलिटी चेक होना चाहिए कि just because
रियलिटी चेक तो काफी हो चुके हैं, मतलब और कितने आप रियलिटी चेक चाहते हो?
So I hope, exactly. So when I say reality check, I mean players need to internalize those things, you know, and be a little more, okay, good for you. You have the opportunity today to earn a very decent livelihood by playing your sport. I think that should give you the foundation to, like, really work that much harder, make that much more impact, and then after that you do all of this stuff. I think
मेरा नजरिया
this time was quite pissed off also.
Yeah, I heard that. You know, I heard that. One of the boys also put it on the comments.
Yeah. So you know,
भाई, but okay, मेरा नजरिया अलग है आपसे थोड़ा. And I know आप मुझे सिर्फ चैटर बता रहे हो.
हाँ, ये मेरा ओपिनियन नहीं है.
नहीं, I agree. My only response would be this: that if this social media thing, which is a second stream of income or a third stream of income, was up and running when the former players were, and whoever these former players or whatever generation this might be. Are you saying they wouldn't have been used then, the way it's being used now?
Of course it would.
Of course, it would have been used. You would have used it to up your revenue streams. Even
not just revenue streams, also the level of interest in the game, right?
Whatever.
अभी जैसे कलकत्ता से आ रहे हैं लोग, केरला से आ रहे हैं लोग, बैंगलोर से आ रहे हैं लोग मैच देखने, क्यों आ रहे हैं? Because
नहीं,
of this.
वो ठीक है, पर मैं कह रहा हूँ इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर जो अपना करता है, जो टॉप लेवल का खिलाड़ी है, वो उसको ये बोला जाता है ना, सर आप अपनी फॉलोइंग बनाओ, फॉलोइंग से आपको पैसा बरसेगा और चीजों से ब्रांड्स आपके साथ एसोसिएट होना चाहेंगे, ये करना चाहेंगे, वो करना चाहेंगी. तो यही चीज अगर उनके टाइम पे
और हमारे लिए तो ऑल्टरनेट भी नहीं है, हमारा तो मेन रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम में सपोज टू बी दिस, हम तब भी नहीं कर रहे.
नहीं, हमारी मेन रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम हमारी बीवियां हैं, तो फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली, सो हम ठीक हैं उस मामले में. बट माय पॉइंट है कि वो तब भी होता, वो अभी भी होता भाई. ये दिस इज द नॉर्मल नाउ, and you have to live with this normal, and you will always have people pointing fingers at this. My point is this entire social media conversation will stop in 10 years time, because by then all the people talking about the game and, you know, analyzing the game, it would have been normalized by then. This is reality and it's a part of life, is not going anywhere. So this is what it is.
In 10 years time, maybe the only sport we'll be playing is water polo, bro. Maybe there'll be no grounds left above sea level anymore.
आपने तीर क्लाइमेट चेंज का बड़ा अच्छा लगा. पर ठीक है, तो मैं खत्म कर रहा हूँ अब, क्योंकि थोड़ा लंबा जा रहा है. और एक बार फिर से याद दिला दें, देखो जी, आज 6 बजे का मैच है, 6:45 फर्स्ट हाफ, 7 बजे हाफ टाइम, 7:45 खत्म. That means we will likely be coming your way at 8 p.m. or 8:30, whatever. Just stay tuned to our social media handles, and we will come live, not just with these two handsome-looking men.
I will update you by not just two, but there'll be our friends also.
नहीं वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, not just us two, but two more handsome men. One Renedy Singh, the other Ishwaq Ahmed. And so the quartet will come your way to talk about that game. So stay tuned to Instagram, stay tuned to Twitter, and do spread this as much as you can. I think there are many more people who deserve to watch the show, and it's purely not going there because not reaching them. And
I think
dedication ki,
I met my friend Devsan yesterday. Very sweet, actually. Coming to Manipur is amazing, by the way. So grateful I'm feeling today. Come to town. Firstly, it's like coming home, and secondly, like people come from all over to say hi, what's happening, and all that. So I met my friend Devsan, bro. He started much after we did, and just through consistency and obviously all of the effort he's put in. Bhai Saab has got 75,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel today. So I think we should also try to do some collaborations with him. If he of course wants to do a collaboration with us.
So you mean 6.34 subscribers, K subscribers, not enough?
I think even 10 subscribers, 1 subscriber is enough. But you know, what you were saying, I think there are a lot more people who might be interested in the subject, and it's down to us to sort of put it out there, get it to them if they want. Because forget about us, हम तो चलो ठीक है, but जो बाकी लोग शो पे आते हैं वो I think उनसे जानकार और उनसे बैलेंस और नॉलेजेबल बहुत कम लोग हैं इंडियन फुटबॉल में. तो हाँ और मतलब विदाउट एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ होल्डिंग बैक, यू नो, ऑनेस्ट ओपिनियंस आपको मिलते हैं, मतलब अच्छा डिस्कशन होता है. तो आई थिंक या कुछ करना चाहिए हमें.
प्रेडिक्शन भाई खत्म करते हैं फिर. आपको क्या लग रहा है? गोल्स दिख रहे हैं आपको?
प्रेडिक्शन भाई मेरा तो हमेशा प्रेडिक्शन वही होता है कि इंडिया 3 गोल मारेगी, बाकी
मतलब ऐसी चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, बाकी सब तेल लेने चले.
Yeah, so it can be either extreme ना. So like what I was saying earlier was that अगर मैं कोच होता तो मैं स्ट्रक्चर और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे काफी एम्फसाइज करता, which would mean 1-0 clean sheet, no problems, टेंशन फ्री, 90 मिनट आराम से आप खेलो, कंट्रोल करो गेम को, 1 गोल मारो, खत्म करो. थैंक यू वेरी मच. We are preparing for the Asian Cup. But I think given the situation, given the setting, everyone gets a bit carried away. And when you have 20 odd thousand people who are asking for a goal, I mean, you want to play.
That is the capacity? That's the capacity?
25, I think 25 के आसपास है. मतलब officially शायद 15 है, but वो because they don't have around. It's like it's those concrete kind of benches. They're not seats. So where जैसे इंडिया में होता है kindly adjust, तो 2 बंदे की जगह में 4 बैठ जाते हैं, तो वो expandable है थोड़ा capacity. तो I think 25,000 तो आ ही सकते हैं स्टेडियम में, and they'll be asking for goals because that's what football fans want to see, right? Goals. So it'll be very hard to kind of control that urge to play a little bit of attacking, attractive football. And if we get to see that, then तीन तो पढ़ने चाहिए इस टीम के खिलाफ. I think
आपके लिए रिक्वेस्ट आई है. Aney bhai should do a live vlog during the game, since Devsan will definitely do that. मैं एक और उसमें रिक्वेस्ट डाल सकता हूँ आपके लिए कि जब अगर आप व्लॉग करेंगे, नहीं बट व्लॉग करेंगे तो स्टार्ट करना हेलो दोस्तों से, ठीक है? हेलो दोस्तों, मैं हूँ सिद्धांत, ये आपका चलता.
ठीक है. करते हैं. Devsan, maybe we can do a collab with Devsan.
You could call it a collab. I would call it leaning on his shoulder and buying followers.
Yeah, he's very broad, weightlifting shoulders that he's got.
No, I'm saying
guy, but he's got big shoulders.
No, I'm saying leaning on his shoulder and shooting by getting his followers onto us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But collab is the polite way of saying it. ठीक है भाई, डन. मुझे भी लगता है जीतेंगे आज. कैसे जीतेंगे ये नहीं पता, स्कोर लाइन किसको क्या पता है. इस टीम को लेकर भाई कुछ क्लियर कट पता नहीं फंडा. अगर आप जीत रहे हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, घर पे खेल रहे हो.
और अगर ना जीते भाई तो सीरियसली जो जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं, आई डोंट नो कितने लोग देख रहे हैं, 100 200 300 400 जो भी है, जितने भी हमारे सब्सक्राइबर्स हों 5,000 6,000 10,000 जो भी हैं I think a lot of people who are involved in Indian football do kind of watch the show and listen to if not us but other people involved. I think if we don't manage to win the game and do it in the manner that the coach wants, then really we should seriously look at what is happening with our domestic league and have real conversations around that structure, because how the league has gone to this point has a direct impact on what we will see on the pitch today. So ये इसमें कोई बहुत broad correlation नहीं है, direct है ये. तो मतलब इस पे चर्चा, हाँ इस पे चर्चा होनी चाहिए depending on how it goes. अगर हम म्यांमार से हारे ये गेम तो मतलब we'll have a lot to talk about I think in the evening.
Done भाई. जय माता दी. Thanks for joining us. And रात को याद रखना दोस्तों कि मैं टाइमिंग डाल दूंगा 8 बजे 8:30 बजे जो भी है. Renedy, Annie from Manipur, Ishwak joining us from Jammu Kashmir, and I will be joining you from Control Center.
By the way, if by some chance we hit 6, then I might be at an after party with the team. In which case, sorry
no,
guys.
then you do the show in the hotel lobby, and then go do the after party, and also make sure to put a camera in your button so you film everything, so we can connect the next day.
Never ever. What happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room, bro.
ठीक है भाई, आप enjoy करो उसको. शाम को बात करते हैं, and please try putting out stuff during the game, so we'll try doing it on.
और आप जब जो भी लोग देख रहे हैं जो हायर पावर में बिलीव करते हैं, प्लीज थोड़ा एनर्जी भेजिए उस तरफ कि बारिश ज्यादा ना हो, बिकॉज हमें गेम देखना है. और अगर पूरा वहां पे पडल बन जाए या मतलब यू नो we don't want to see that kind of a game, Calcutta League type situations. So yeah, I think it sounds like it's raining pretty hard now, so fingers crossed.
No, that's why I was asking you about the ground. Drainage is good. What is the scene?
Drainage is not great, yaar. वो पुराना constructed stadium है ना. This facility was built actually for the Asian Games, National Games back in 1998. And I think since then it has received minor kind of cosmetic uplifts when various things have happened, including of course the I League, which has been happening in Manipur now for a few seasons. But basic infrastructure wise, not much has changed since then. So and if you walk around pitch side, you'll see, like, if there's a drainage system, you can see the drainage system. It's pretty much non-existent, and there's no super stopper or any of those fancy things that cricket guys have. So yeah. So even yesterday when we were pitch side, while they were preparing for it, the organizers, some of them who we were talking to, saying that like बाकी सब तो ठीक है, बस ज़्यादा बारिश नहीं होनी चाहिए. Because if it rains hard, then we will be in a bit of I don't know.
चलो जी सब उधर लगाओ, दुआ करो और बारिश बंद कराओ, and hopefully we get a good game of football. Annie भाई बात करते हैं शाम को. Much love to all of you, and take care. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.